So you made a mistake and now you're beating yourself up about it. How do you get yourself out of that cycle of telling yourself you're bad, you're wrong, nobody's ever going to love you again, that you were so stupid? How could you have done that? How do you get yourself out of that cycle and back into forward momentum? Let's talk about it. My name is Kristen Pierce. I coach successful entrepreneurs and professionals who are feeling called to something more. And there is nothing that hijacks forward momentum faster than beating oneself up. So today we're talking about positive intelligence. Positive intelligence is a system that can help you see where you are in terms of beating yourself up and help you shift to the other side of the spectrum of supporting yourself into a place of bigger thinking, creativity, positivity, and flow, which is what we want, more flow. So going back to the beginning where we're beating ourselves up, here's a scenario for you. You've been working on a project at work. You've written a 10-page document. You double-checked it. It made complete sense. You turned it in, and then you get the feedback that you forgot one very important element, and it should have been obvious, but it wasn't. And it hits you. It hits you so hard in the heart, and your mind just takes off. Oh my God, I am so stupid. I am a failure. They're never going to trust me again. I can't believe I did that. And then these thoughts just keep circling round and round in your head. It's not others saying it to you at this point. It's you saying it to yourself. How do you get yourself back on track? Well, first, you recognize that there's this part of yourself called the judge. And the judge is this, I like to think of him as a creaky old man. He can't even hold himself upright anymore. The judge is the one that when a project is happening and something doesn't go right, he opens his big mouth and just starts talking mean things. Things that don't help you be a better person because he keeps saying them. They just take you down the rabbit hole of feeling bad. So from that place, how do we get over to something better? The something better is called the sage. The sage is the wise one. We could call it the presence of light, something that is supportive and kind and good and is filled with possibility and potential. Okay, so we're at the judge. The judge has a thought about something and says, oh, you're terrible, you're a failure. And then he has these saboteurs, and the saboteurs are the actions that go after saying you're a failure. So a saboteur action might be, you're restless. Oh, I didn't do it right. Oh, I'm just going to go work on this other thing first. There are many other saboteurs, and we'll go into those in a later video. But I want you to know that the judge is normal. And in order to stop him from talking, here's 3 steps to help you bridge to the sage. So step 1, we want to catch the judge in action. When we catch the judge, we laugh at him and we say, Judge, oh, it's you again. Ha, 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 ha. It's you. You have all these things to say, but you're not right. You're not right all the time. So catching the judge in action, just saying, Judge, I see you for what you are. You're a judge. You are not always right. Ha! Then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to get present and shift your nervous system. And in this case, this is my little symbol for getting present, is a little guy meditating here. But in positive intelligence, what you have in positive intelligence are, they call it positive intelligence reps, PQ reps. Something so simple as rubbing your fingers together for a minute, just 1 minute. So even right now, closing your eyes, feeling your fingertips, the ridges on your fingertips as you inhale and exhale, begins to bring calm to your system. Opening your eyes begins to bring calm and a different kind of focus to your brain and your body. And there's lots of ways that you can get your brain and body to shift gears. This is just one way. Slow down, close your eyes, rub your fingertips together. Focus on your breath. That's step 2 of bridging to a more positive mindset called the sage. And then step 3, let's see here. Step 3 is we accept that this is the situation right now. We made a mistake. And then we are like, you know what? It's not serving me to stay stuck with the judge. I don't like the judge. She's not nice. I want to move forward, which means I'm going to convert. I'm going to convert. I'm going to convert how I think about this and how I'm being with this situation. So again, the bridge is 3 steps. The bridge is step 1. Catch the judge. I say, oh, this is the judge. This is not me. This is the judge. The judge is telling me that I'm a failure, that nobody's going to like me, but I have evidence from the past that people do still like me when I make a mistake, and that I am not a failure when I make a mistake. Step 2 is a PQ rep, or a mindfulness activity, just 30 seconds or 1 minute of something to allow the brain and body to quiet and shift gears. And then step 3, accept that this is what happened. This is what happened. I made a mistake. And then I'm choosing to convert because I want a different mindset. That's your bridge. Got it? Okay. So now we get to visit the sage, and the sage is the fun one. The sage is the one full of possibility, has a giant heart. So let's meet the sage. So here we are. We're at the sage. The sage is on the other side of the bridge, and the sage has 5 steps to fully step into what's possible. And you know what? Step 1 is empathy. Focus on the heart. That means you take a moment, and I'm going to look back over here. Focusing on the heart means you take a moment for yourself, and you connect with that part that is so disappointed that you made a mistake. And a lot of times that's in your own heart, and so you could touch your own heart. I am so sorry. So you touch your own heart, and you say to yourself, acknowledging what the feeling is. Oh, yeah. Yes, I am so frustrated. I am so sad right now. And I feel what it's like to be a failure. And it's really, really hard. That's giving empathy. It's just being with yourself in the emotion and the thoughts that are present for a very short time. Letting yourself have that moment to feel bad, to feel sorry that you had that happen. That's step 1 of moving into the sage. Let's go to step 2. Step 2 is explore. So step 2 involves looking for the whole picture. Maybe you just saw an apple before. Like, the apple is the project and the fact that there was a mistake, so I'll put a little worm in the apple. But if you back up and you're like, oh, wait a second, there's a lot going on here. This tree has roots, this tree has branches. So this project has a lot of elements to it. And you start noticing it's not just this little piece, but there's all these other pieces. And you take in a more full picture. Maybe even like, looking at your own process. Looking at your own process for how you do projects and saying, okay, I do all these things. Wow, I have so much on my plate. And then you take a step further back. Oh, this is how this piece relates to all these other pieces. And there's a lot of perspectives here that you can examine, from how you think about it to why you think about it that way, to how you do these projects, how this project relates to other things. Giving yourself some time to take it all in is called exploration. Third step is innovate. So now you have a lot bigger perspective. And it's time to come up with some new ideas about how you could handle mistakes or this type of project in the future. So innovate is a little bit like brainstorming, but it's coming up with new ideas. So I'm gonna put a board here, and we have new ideas, and we'll give him a little light bulb above his head there. Ding, 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 ding. And there's all of these new ideas that can come to fruition about how you've been handling this problem or about this project in general. And maybe you come up with some ideas about, oh, wow, in the future, when this type of project is assigned, maybe I could put it through ChatGPT and that could help me. Maybe I could lean toward a friend. Maybe I could call the Purple People Eater and ask for support. Yes, that's a bit of an out-of-the-box way of thinking. However, it's an idea, and every idea is at least 10% helpful. So that got me thinking about purple. Maybe I could put on my purple furry coat when I am proofing my work, and that will actually bring some lightness and humor and help me feel better as I proof it. It's all valid, something to look at. So that is the innovation stage. We've got 2 more to go. The number 4 stage is navigate. Now that we have all these ideas, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? So let's look back over here. Navigate. Where to? We're thinking hard about this. Dink, dink, dink. Where do we go from here? And particularly, where do we go from here that's right for me? Because there's a million ways. Which one's right for you? Once you figure out which way, the 5th step is activate. Go deploy the step. Go deploy the step. And that's just take action. Woohoo! We're doing something different. And we're happy about it. Woohoo! Ding, 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 ding. They get hair. Of course they get hair. And that is our sage. That is how we get to interact with our sage. Give him a pink heart there. So going back to that project example, we've given ourselves empathy for having failed at doing it right, failed our own expectations, and how hard that must be. And then we step back and we explore the bigger picture. And we might remember, oh, my mom used to criticize me when I didn't do things right. And actually that voice in my head sounds a lot like my mom. Okay. And wait a second, I realize that other people, when they make a mistake, don't have all these same voices. I wonder what they say to themselves. I wonder how they handle it. So we research that. And, oh, how else could I relate to making a mistake? And our picture of what's happening within ourselves and what's happening in the greater project expands. Once we have more information, then we seek ideas. Like, what else could I know to help me move forward here? And we open up to inspiration, like turn on the light bulb of creativity and see what comes. Sometimes this helps when you do it with other people too. Like, I need a new way of approaching projects. I need a new way of approaching myself when I make a mistake. How could I do this better? How could this be better for me? And you'd write down all these ideas. And then the 5th one, or the 4th one, we're only at the 4th one, is we take all the ideas and we say, which one is the best fit for me to move forward? Which one makes my heart thing, or which one makes the most sense, or both. And then finally, we know which one and we go do the thing. And that's sage. All right. So that is your tutorial for positive intelligence and how to get yourself out of a negative, frustrating mindset of beating yourself up. There is so much more to this system, but I really wanted to give you this piece so that you could decide how you want to proceed. Thanks for joining me today.